It's warm, comforting, spicy, tangy from the kimchi. It has a lot of texture and flavor. This is my Budae-jjigae. Hey guys, welcome to Flavour Fridays. I'm Ryan, and I'm gonna teach you how to make a Budae-jjigae, which is also known as army stew in Korean. So we have some dried anchovies. Basically, that is gonna be the key ingredient to make your broth more like seafood flavor and more earthy, but as well as more pungent. Then we got some kelp. This is dried kelp. Usually you use it to make like kombu stocks or any dashi stocks, anything like that. It gives it that nice sweetness to your broth. And last but not least, the savory notes or the umami flavors, the shiitake mushrooms. These are dried, so they will absorb more water as you cook, and that will create more flavor to your broth. Before we go on with the broth, you always want to take the head off the anchovy, like that. I added some sliced pork belly into this broth. That's gonna give it more flavor to our dish. When it starts boiling, that's when we're gonna add all these luscious ingredients in. But before that, I'm gonna skim all the scum out. Basically, it's just some impurities from the pork. So if we take it out, that's gonna make the broth nice and clear. Once you've taken quite a bit out, that's when you're gonna start adding your aromatics. So in you go, mushroom, kelp, and some anchovies. This is around 1.5 to 2 liters of water. And then the pork we have here is around 200 to 400 grams. And we're gonna let it simmer for a good 20 to 30 minutes. Budae-jjigae, known as army stew, it's known for because of the Korean War back in the days, and they were in scarcity of food. What happened is they were using all these US processed food. So we got some spam here and some sausage. And then we're gonna add some kimchi as well, some silken tofu, and traditional Korean rice cake. So with the ingredients for the topping that we're gonna do, we're just gonna cut it into nice big slices like that. With the spam as well, we're gonna cut it into slices, and also the sausage. So with our fresh ingredients, the cabbage, spring onion, and normal onion, we want to cut the top and the end off, cut it into nice thin slices. This one we can cut it into nice chunks. And this one, we're gonna cut it into nice diamond rings. So cut it into an angle like that. That's gonna be our garnish in the end. So for the Budae-jjigae, I already sieved the broth out from the pot. And then I also saved some pork belly for what we're gonna use later on as a topping. So I have some minced garlic here. Just gonna put it into the bowl. It's around 6 cloves, followed by some soy sauce. It's around a teaspoon. Sugar, tablespoon. This is gochugaru. You can get the flakes, which I got here. That's just a little bit more flavorful. But if you don't want these big ends, you can always use the powder. This is around 2 tablespoons. It seems a lot, but actually it gives it a nice red color and it won't be as spicy as you think. Gochujang, I don't know if you heard of it. It is made out of gochugaru, the chili powder. It's formed into a paste. It's more sweeter than your normal chili paste. It is a thick paste, so we are gonna dilute it with a little bit of water, so that way we could mix it all together. The amount of water we're gonna add is around 2 tablespoons. And then just gonna mix everything together. And that's it for the Korean chili paste. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a pot over here, turn the heat around medium to medium high. I have the chili paste here, and what I'm gonna do is dilute it with the stock that I just cooked. So I turned the heat to a 7, I put around 2 ladles full of broth inside. And now I'm gonna add this beautiful chili paste. We're gonna add the remaining of the broth in once the chili paste starts to dissolve into a very smooth broth. All right, the chili paste is dissolved. I'm gonna have a quick taste. That's really good. It's just missing a little bit of salt. So I am gonna add a little bit through, roughly around a pinch. So once you're happy with the seasoning, we're gonna bring it up to a boil. Once it's boiling, we're gonna start adding some onions in. Keep some onions for garnish. Then we're gonna add a little bit of cabbage as well, and keep some as well for garnish. Same thing with the pork, and again, keep some for the garnish. And now we're gonna finish off with the garnishes on top. So first things first, the cabbages, followed by the onion. Once you've done that, we're gonna add the tofu on top, followed by with the spam, then the sausages, then some pork here, rice cake, just put it on the center, some kimchi on the side. Once you added all this, we're gonna bring it up to a boil, and then we're gonna add the noodles in, because if we add it in now, it will taste a little bit too soggy. So you wanna add it in just right before you eat so that your noodles are nice and chewy. So with Budae-jjigae, traditionally you'll put some beautiful Korean ramen, and you can always buy this in your local Chinatown or your Korean town. I'm just gonna add the noodle on top like this, and then cover with a lid and let that steam for a good 2 to 3 minutes more. And once your noodle's done, it's time to plate up. All right guys, this is my Budae-jjigae, and it's now time to taste. Just get a bit of everything. That's really good. It has that little acidity from the kimchi. You got that sweetness from the broth. It is very comforting, very warming. It's like you eat it during the winter. Thank you for watching, guys. This is my take on the Budae-jjigae. Let us know down below what is your favorite noodle soup, and as always, see you next Friday.